Why would you go to Pakistan? Why would you go anywhere? I mean, why not just stay at home? Some people choose to do that. I've always been a traveler since a very young age. I've never been a big city person. I don't mind them. I can be in them, but I choose not to live in one. I'm more comfortable with open space.
Where I come from, no news is a good news. Over here, the international media and the local media, they sell their news. So they make from this thing to this.
The perception of Pakistan that people have, that it's a dangerous country, it's associated with terrorism. The point is, every country has good people, good areas, bad areas, safe areas, not so safe areas. And Pakistan is the same, it's no different. But as far as the common people are concerned, they love foreigners, and you'll experience not just good hunting, but you'll experience a genuine hospitality that comes from a country which is not used to seeing a lot of tourists. We are a loving people, we are a loving country, and whatever you hear in the media, simply not true.
The mountain ranges, the Himalayan mountain ranges, which is the biggest in the world. We have very rich wildlife as well as forest in these mountains, and we have very unique animal, Markhor. Markhor is a national animal of Pakistan, a large horned wild mountain goat.
I call them God's special creatures. They're just incredible animals. They live at really high altitudes. In the summers, they are in places where the local Sherpas can't reach, which is quite rare.
The Markhor is incredible, and it's a very difficult hunt in the world.
During the year 1991, it was said that there are about 700 Markhor in whole of Gilgit-Baltistan, but now the number is exceeding 3,000 plus animals.
I was the first president of my community where we started a conservation program.
The whole community is now our guard, and community owns Markhor and wildlife through this trophy hunting program. This animal is very important for us and our next generations.
People must understand that trophy hunting, hunter always goes for the animal who is about to die, not because of the illness or sickness or anything, no, because of the age. The older he is, the bigger he is, that is the most rewarding trophy for the hunter. This is the conservation of wildlife.
Before, we were eating the meat, and that was nothing. One man was going up and shooting the animal and bringing the meat to his family only. Now, this is better for the community. The money comes to the community, and the money helps everybody.
Shifral to Bisham is 9 hours, 3 minutes drive. And from Bisham to all the way to Gilgit, 9 to 10 hours.
Now I'm getting excited. That's all of that. Extra boots, extra this, extra that. I'm overpacking. Why am I overpacking? I'm overpacking because we have been told 2 days. I think it's probably going to be 3, and it may be longer. Now, does that mean it's because there's not any Markhor up there? No. I think there's plenty of Markhor up there. But I also think that I have traveled many thousands of miles and even many more thousands, it feels like, of hours. And we are going to an incredible place. And we may need to really spend some time up there looking at what we got going on. We're heading up to Gilgit-Baltistan today. I'm really looking forward to the drive. There's some really incredible country to go through, including the Karakoram Highway. I'm really excited to get into the northern part of Pakistan and get ready to hunt Astor Markhor.
My full name is Tabarakullah. My occupation is hunting guide, and I'm doing this 15 years. When I was a kid, in my house, there was my parents, my grandpa, everyone was talking about huntings and what the hunting is. And from my childhood, I start hearing about hunting, and it gives me passion to become in the hunting world. This is three mountainous region, the big mountainous region of Pakistan. This one is Himalaya, and that one is Karakoram, and this one is Hindu Kush. This is the junction point.
Okay.
Where they met. Connects Gilgit. In Gilgit-Baltistan, it connects China, India. All the border regions are connecting here in Gilgit-Baltistan.
The Gilgit is very large, and it seems like it's growing recently.
After the friendship of China-Pakistan, now our cities are growing fast. So the people are making new buildings and all these things. So our lifestyle
changing. There's more and more people here in Gilgit, that puts more and more pressure on the ecosystem around us, on the lands that the Markhor need.
In this region, the population is growing very fastly. Then a habitat of Markhor is become disturbed. I think we have to plan for the population problem of human beings. We need to make new cities here and get the population there and give them opportunity to get some money there to preserve these animals.
I am Noor, and my full name is Noor Hayat, and professionally I'm a teacher, and in my vacations I'm working as a hunter guide. When I was young, I am a good sportsman, and hunting is also a part of sports. It's also a good education. That's why I choose this.
My name is Khadim Abbas, and I am working as a conservator parks and wildlife in Gilgit-Baltistan. I am working with this department since 2005. I have 15 years experience of working with the department for the conservation of wildlife, for the conservation of forests, and the associated biodiversity. My grandfather was in forest department. He urges me to be a forester in future. My father was a judge in judiciary department, so I prefer to go for the grandfather.
I am Sarmat Shafa, Range Forest Officer, Astor Wildlife Division. I am from this region. I love animals and forest, and I decided to go this field. As RFO, my responsibilities are to protect wildlife and forest, conserve, and take directives from my senior staff, conservator and DFOs, and implement these directives in the field and monitor all field activities.
The Astor Valley is located south of Gilgit-Baltistan. This is where our hunt for the Markhor is going to take place. start our ascent by going over a rickety little bridge and up a very steep, icy path through the snow. We have a 3-hour climb just to get to base camp.
You know, the tradition and culture in this part of the world commands that if there's a wedding or a funeral in that village, the host must provide the meat to the whole community. So what they started doing is they started using markhor as a food source, where rather than sacrificing one of the herd animals, they would go up in the mountain and shoot a markhor. So they said, we don't have any value on these animals. Why should we sacrifice the animal which has value on them? The government understood, the bureaucracy of the day, they understood this concept, and they said, why don't we invite a hunter? A lot of American hunters who were writing to the government that, look, we can come, we can pay this much to help with the conservation program. Can you please do something? So the government, they approached the community, how about we come up with a plan where you would get 80% of whatever the government receives, and the remaining 20% will be given to the game department, which they will utilize to hire game watchers from the same community. So from the same community, they'll hire game guards and everything, and even the remaining money would eventually go up in the community. So it's basically 100% of that goes to conservation.
80% purely goes to the community, which is spent in different activities of the local people's construction of roads, improvement of natural habitat of the markhor, and 20% goes to department, which is directly used to benefit the animal.
This money is also sent back to the community in other forms. We have coral improvement programs, we have improvement of trail and tracks program. This money also goes to the communities.
Winter mornings high in the mountains are always cold, but this morning I don't feel the cold at all. My anticipation keeps me warm. My anticipation for seeing my first Astor Markhor living in the wild. There's 2 males over there. Well, there's a big one up top, and then a smaller one down at the bottom. Oh, they're way up there. They're like 3 over. Oh yeah, he's way up there. And they're going up, 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 up. Seeing my first Astor. Oh, right. This is exciting.
We've seen 3 male. 2 are good. 1 is small. When I started hunting, there's few animal here and they are very spooky.
When we were hunting, you know, we were like wild hunters. We were killing lots of animal.
Then in early 90s, IUCN introduced here conservation.
After IUCN teaches us how to preserve these animals, and you can get financial aids and you can do good things in your community, I was the first president of my community where we started a conservation program.
There is a conservation committee with each of these community control hunting area. We will give the money to the head of that committee.
We are spending that money in education, in healthcare, in making roads, making bridges, making power stations, and all these things we are doing. And I think it's helpful in education very well. We are putting that money in education welfare, so we are helping the poor students who cannot afford their fees and all these things. Before, we were eating the meat, and that was nothing. One man was going up and shooting the animal and bringing the meat to his family only. Now, this is better for the community. The money comes to the community and the money helps everybody.
When it was initiated, this was only for one community control hunting area. Now the area has been increased from 1 to 52 community control hunting area. Now currently we have 52 such areas where legal hunting is in practice. And if we calculate the percentage of protection, it is up to 62% under protection in one way or the other. There are 4 categories: national parks, game sanctuaries, game reserves, and the CCHAs. The major portion is the community control hunting area.
God, what a cool looking goat. Way cool, man. Way cool. Look at all those old junipers up there too.
This is our tradition that we are presenting goat to our special guest when they are coming to our village. The villagers are presenting this goat to you, to the
Thank
hunter.
you. Thank you very much. This is a beautiful goat.
Yeah.
People of the Muslim faith have to butcher their animals in a certain way. Here it's called halal. They've taken my knife that I've used since I was 15, and they're going to butcher the goat for dinner tonight. Good day today. This village is beautiful. Houses, the little room we've got here is really wonderful. The food's great. Plan tomorrow is to get up at 5 a.m., very reasonable hour, and start walking at 6. And we're just gonna go up there now. If it's cloudy again, we're gonna be here. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. Fingers crossed we get up. And if we don't, we'll make good use of our time, and it won't be too bad. So, good night for now. Markhor up early this morning.
There's a cave.
A cave, yeah. Okay, up there in that crack.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's sitting in that.
Yeah.
Good place. So he's up there in a cave. There is a Markhor in a cave. We don't know if it's the Markhor, but it is a Markhor. And where there's a Markhor, there are oftentimes more.
CITES allow us 4 Astor Markhor permits every year. Gilgit-Baltistan Parks, Forest and Wildlife Department decide where we hunt this year and where we hunt next year after approval from the technical committee.
We are regularly assessing the number of animals by surveys. We have checked the past year progress, past year record and the previous data of that area, and on the basis of the previous hunts, this committee is responsible to allocate hunt to a certain area.
We doing summer surveys and winter surveys, and after those surveys we get the figures. And we send teams every valley and every mountain and try to count every species and every single markhor. So big science behind all this process.
The information gathered from wildlife surveys are the basis for the science behind the conservation of this incredible species. The hunting permits issued create economic opportunity for the people who live in this isolated region.
20 years we started the trophy hunting program in GB. Now we are successful in this program, and a success story you can say in the world, I think. We have conserved animals through community participation in these areas.
Previously, we were teach our children how to get food, and now we are teaching them how to preserve these animals for your next generation. We teach them to preserve these animals not the way our grandpas were doing. So we are teaching now them differently. We teach them that these animals need little attraction of human being to preserve these animals for the next generation.
During the year 1991, it was said that there are about 700 to 800 markhor in whole of Gilgit-Baltistan, in entire habitat of markhor. But now the number is exceeding 3,000 plus animals.
This is not just killing animals, this is a pure conservation through benefit the community and involve the community in conservation. And this is a successful story of GB Forest Parks and Wildlife Department.
Turns out we're not the only hunters on the mountain today.
Before, local people kill the snow leopards because the snow leopard kill the cattles, domestic sheeps and all these things, yaks. They were killing them because it was a unrepairable losses they bared. So now, due to the conservation program, the population is rapidly going high because they have enough food to eat. In our conservation areas, animals population is going rapidly high, so that's why they can feed easily, they can hunt easily, so the population is very high.
Markhor is the prey for the snow leopard and other carnivores of the area. When we increase the prey base of certain area, then we surely enhance the number of the predators depending on this prey. So we have noticed the increased population of snow leopard. In a few years back, 10 years back or 20 years back, it is not possible to sight this elusive species. But now we can encounter the snow leopard very frequently. This conservation activity has enhanced the general ecology of the area. This benefited all the species. Even the people shifted their animals from the pastures to other areas to have more and more availability of grasses and for the natural wildlife of the area. So it's improving all the ecology of the area.
That's him. Yeah, that's our boy. That's the old one. He's very far away, I think. Very, very far away. Look at him, dude. Look at him.
A markhor that we are interested in, the old man that we're interested in, is about 1,000 yards up a mountain, and we're not going to get to him, and the snow leopard's between us and where he is. This is hunting. Be patient. Enjoy watching the snow leopards. I've spent a month in snow leopard country in my hunting life and never seen one, so this is pretty cool.
So we're gonna call it a day. We've seen our big boy. He's not interested in coming down because of the snow leopards. A gentleman behind me in the dark camo is from the village, and he's informed us that until the snow leopard leaves, the markhor are gonna stay up high. So we may have a few days of sitting around waiting.
Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
The conservation work that's being done here through the hunting of the markhor is not just helping the people here, it's not just helping the markhor, but it's helping the snow leopards. One of the great byproducts of bringing back the markhor through conservation hunting and getting the communities involved has been increasing the food source for an incredible predator. And to be able to see that and see that in action, wow. Again, I can't restate this enough. This is one of the great conservation success stories of the 20th century, and more specifically the 21st century. To just be part of it is pretty special. And you know, we know there's a big markhor up here, but if we can find an old one that's, you know, past its prime and maybe isn't necessarily the biggest one on the mountain, but it's definitely still very old. And that's the only thing we can get to because the snow leopard is preventing us. I'll take that because I will have participated in the conservation, and you know, the snow leopard's got to eat too. And that's hunting. And some days it's your day, and some days it's the markhor's day, and right now it's the snow leopard. It's their day.
see him? Yes. Yes, yes. Yes. You can see.
Big boy. He's skylined.
80% of the conservation program is successful just because of the hunters. 80% in the Ibex and Markhor community. In few areas, there was no animal left there. Local people killed them, all of them. So now, due to the conservation program, the population is rapidly going and the communities are going up where we started the conservation program. Maybe there are 17 communities now. Before it was 2 or 3. And in this year, I have motivated 2 more communities. I met their elders and motivated them that it will benefit them. So they will be also part of the conservation program next year.
This is a group effort and community play a major role. After department and NGOs, community are the real heroes of our nature hunting.
Millions of people are living in this region. They don't have a source of income. You know, they don't have factories, they don't have mills, they don't have good businesses. Mostly they depend on cattle. What they used to do for their ceremony, their funeral, anything like that, they go and kill a markhor, they go and kill an ibex for the meat, because they cannot kill their cow. You know, the cow will cost them like a few thousand rupees. But since the hunters are coming, hunting those old animals, trophy animals, the community is protecting them now, just because of that reward.
Been a big change in our day. We started out with very little hope and we've ended it with a lot of hope. There's all 4 large male markhor are down, including the oldest one that we're after. And we're just hoping that the snow leopard really and truly has left. And there's no way to know until tomorrow, but at least there's hope, and where there's hope, there's a chance, so. Excited for tomorrow. We'll make a plan here in a little bit, have some dinner, and try to go to sleep. Another frozen morning in the mountains. We'll take all the luck we can get. Let's hope the snow leopard really has moved on. Everything that we had hoped would happen did. Big snow leopard left, but long before we thought she would, so that's good. And the big boys have come down, including the old one we're after. And he's laying down in a crack, up in a cave.
menacing shape. We're gonna wait for him to go down towards the females, maybe, and make a plan. But mostly we're gonna hold tight until he moves and make a plan from there.
Yes, he stands up. The other one stands up. He is, you can see him. So, no, this is the big one.
So, he's up, he's following the other two. They're going up.
Go up there, from that trail, he will come there.
To there where the females were?
Yes.
Okay. And then we go around the corner.
Around the corner.
Perfect. There he goes, jumping up to the right, behind the tree. Continuing on to the right. Look, he's up with the females now. And the young ones. Oh, that's so cool. Well, we've gotten onto our animal. We're underneath the beautiful Juniper. He's just stood up, and we're waiting for him to get into a place where, if we connect with him, he doesn't come tumbling off this 2,000-foot cliff. Just getting ready here. It's a waiting game.
Congratulations! Yes, you did! Yes! Come on, congratulations!
Ah!
Yes, we did it!
We did it! Very good!
Yes! Good!
Very good.
Very good! Very good! Boss, very good!
Okay, so we've got our Astor. He's down on the mountain. The area, the concession that we have here is not easy. It is really steep. It is really nasty. And it has been decided that I am not allowed, no matter how much I want to go up there, I'm not allowed to go up on the mountain. So the local guys who are really good at being on this mountain, born and raised on it, they're working their way up there, and they're gonna recover the animal. We're gonna hang out here with the rest of the village. We've got a lot of the young men from the village here with us, and as well as our hunting group, and everybody's very excited. We're all looking forward to a good meal tonight, and yeah, it's been quite the journey, but it was filled with a lot of potential hits and misses. I mean, between the snow leopard being here and then the snow leopard luckily leaving, and snow and clouds and inclement weather. I mean, we've got a beautiful, nice sunny day, and the Markhor was in an area that we could finally get to him and that we could recover him from. So we took the shot. So we're all pretty happy. These men have come all the way down the hill. They refused to let us go back up the hill. They said they were going to bring it down. That was what they wanted to do, and that was their sort of tradition, and we left it be. And I can see why. They've got the entire village, young and old, has gone up the mountain, created a briar for the Markhor, and they are giving it the same respect you'd give your friend to come off the mountain. It's incredible. I've never seen this kind of respect given to a wild animal before.
The whole community is now our guard, and community owns Markhor and wildlife through this trophy hunting program. And community taking ownership, people are aware that this animal is very important for us and our next generations.
These animals are the beauty of their environment, and one should protect them. And this is the real attraction for other people to come to their area. These people who are coming from other countries and other areas are generating economic activity for them, and thus they will be able to uplift their living standard. And if they destroy this wealth, then nobody will visit their area.
والله أعلم بما يوعون فبشرهم بعذاب أليم بل الذين كفروا يكذبون والله أعلم بما يوعون صدق الله العظيم.
As the public of Pakistan, we should appreciate the hunters, the foreigner hunters, even the local hunters, that they take care of those animals which are old, weak, and for that animal, which I personally wouldn't pay a single dime, and they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, that money end up schools, bridges, basic necessities for the people of Pakistan, especially the poor people of Pakistan. We need hunters, because hunters protect not only our animals, but our society, our culture as well.
If the hunters stopped coming in, animals would die. There would be no more Markhor. That's why, as a hunter, I promote this in my future generation. I took my son for hunting when he was 7. He's been hunting with me ever since. That's the only thing we can do, is install that sense of conservation through hunting in our future generation.
If you go to let's say the biggest city of Pakistan is Karachi, you will see diversity of people coming from Gilgit, KPK. Why? Why you need to travel all the way, leaving your own hometown, leaving your own home province and heading towards Karachi, an unknown place for young people? It's just because of lack of business here. What I see, if this goes on just the way it is, I believe most of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan and KPK will return to their hometowns and they will initiate their own companies to attract more foreigners. They will open a restaurant, they will open a motel because there's business.
As per my own observation, today I am a hunting guide, but my kids will be a good hunter. So they will come and help the community in the way the foreign hunters are doing. Because I'm educating them, I'm doing my best to give them a better future. I hope they will be a hunter to help the poor communities.